Okay, ladies and gentlemen, your first act is a friend of mine. I think he presents the greatest, I was going to say radio programme, but you know what? I wouldn't even go, I'd go further than that. I think he creates the finest broadcasting piece the world has ever seen. 5 days a week. His name is Steve Yabsley, and he's absolutely amazing. Do me a favour, whoop, cheer, make as much noise as you can. Let's have an amazing night tonight. Please make some noise for Mr. Steve Yabsley!
Thank you very much. Many thanks, very kind. Yes. Anyone ever been to a wood mill? Ever been to a wood mill? That's the place for wood, the wood mill. Wood. Everywhere you look in the wood mill, yeah. You don't want to go to a wood mill if you're allergic to wood, because believe me, you're going to regret it. And don't go to a wood mill asking for bricks, because they're going to say, look, we just got a hell of a load of wood. And at the wood mill, they got this big rotating saw, you know, with the teeth, with the biting edge. And fellas, imagine crouching down on that baby. That would definitely bisect your testicles. Not that you'd want to bisect your testicles, but that would do it, yeah. So fast, you probably wouldn't even feel it. They'd be pigging off all over the place. To pick them up out of the sawdust. Now, I was at the wood mill buying a large plank of wood, and the plan was to carve the plank of wood into a wooden chip fork. Originally, I was going to do it the other way around. Collect the wooden chip forks, glue them together, make a plank of wood. It's like an art piece. But I had a bit of problem actually collecting the chip forks. I go into a chip shop and grab them. And the guy serving say, hey, put those back. I said, don't think so. I need them. And it does actually say they're free, because they're complimentary, you see. He said, you're supposed to take one at a time. I said, you're joking. One at a time? Well, I'm coming in and out 200 times. He said, you're supposed to buy chips. I said, chips? Are you mad? You're mental? Don't you read the papers? You watch the television? They're very unhealthy. I thought he'd have known that being in the business. Now, talking about chips, I've never been fully convinced by the crinkle cut. I don't know about you, the crinkle cut chips never fully convinced me. And you can phone up the companies, you've probably done it yourself. You look on the back of the pack, there's a number, you can make a couple of calls, you get through the head office. You say, I do it, say, what's the big deal with the crinkle cut? And they say the same thing every time. Well, we've taken the basic chip design there, just giving it a little bit of a crinkle. Now, for me that doesn't work, and the reason they don't crinkle more foods is the crinkle doesn't actually work. And if I'm out and about and I get the crinkle cut chip, I just bash it out with a hammer or a rolling pin. I see that Waitrose have launched a new Essentials range. This is like your basic foodstuffs, a little bit cheaper. And in the Waitrose Essentials range, they've got chalk ices. Now, maybe it's my diet and this is the sort of lifestyle I lead, but the chalk ice is not essential for me. I can go 2-3 months without a chalk ice. I'm absolutely fine. You ask a survival expert, someone like Ray Mears, you say, Ray, talk me through your essentials. You say, well, big knife, tight pair of shorts, camera crew. That's all he needs. He's not even thinking about the chalk ice. If he's going for a polar region, an Arctic region, it's already cold. If he's in the jungle, it's going to melt inside his rucksack. Basically, or should I say essentially, Waitrose are ballsed up. They want to ditch the chalk ice and bring in guns. Start selling guns. No, believe me, they're going to be essential soon. Now, if you want to kiss a marsupial, you want to go with the koala. You want to go with the koala because the koala has very minty, fresh breath because of the eucalyptus they eat. Fine. If you do want to kiss a marsupial, you don't want to go with the kangaroo because the kangaroo will kick, and they kick hard. If the kangaroo doesn't like the way it's being caressed and touched, it will kick, and those bruises, they take a while to go down, I'll tell you now. I'll tell you one animal that's pissing me off big time at the moment, that is the sea lion. You know, the sea, you know, with the whiskers, no beard, not making any effort with a beard, it's just the whiskers. Now, a few years ago, you could see these sea lions in circuses, and they had these rubber horns all lined up. They toot on them. Now, That was called a performing sea lion. Let me tell you, that isn't performing. That's just squeezing. Now, when I go to the bathroom with the toothpaste, I don't try and pretend that I'm performing. It's just a squeezing motion. That's all it is. But the thing that really annoys me about the sea lion is the business with the clapping. Now, if you're an animal, you've got two limbs, two flippers right there in front of you, it's the bloody obvious thing to do, isn't it? The clap. The clap is the obvious thing to do. Yeah, now, a clapping giraffe, a clapping worm, I'm interested. Clapping moth, fine. But the sea lion, they're right there. I mean, it's so tempting, isn't it? They just want to do it. Now, why can't the sea lion do something more interesting? I'd like to see them knit a scarf. Yeah, get them knitting scarves. Yeah, yeah. I know what you're saying. I don't go to a circus, I don't go to a zoo to see a sea lion knit a scarf. What? Do they have to do it there? Why can't they do it in schools? It's an absolute fact. In British schools, knitting, a bit like your brass rubbing, has been going downhill for some time. It's in decline. Here's an animal in a rut. With the clapping, it's in a rut. It could potentially knit a scarf, probably do a brass rubbing with his arse at the same time. Are you telling me we can't put them in British schools? Come on! They let head lice in schools, don't they? They let the head lice in schools. I don't see them knitting. No, they just let them in, they don't have to do anything. That's another waste of time animal, the head lice. Jeez, what do? They do very little, they don't contribute to society. Talk about lacking ambition, they're sticking with the head. They can't even be bothered to go to the neck region, they can't be asked at all. I wouldn't mind poking one of those head lice in the eye. You could poke about 200 or 300 in the eye if you get them grouped together for a photograph. Now, I did have some concerns about this routine because last week I did some observational humour in a home for the blind and that went down very badly. But I feel I may have won you over. That's it from me. Thank you. Good night.
Steve Yabsley!